today's video we're taking a look at the Marvo Sg286. It is an RGB gaming soundbar. Now I suppose gaming is a little bit of a stretch because it's a speaker. It's not really something that you can particularly call gaming, but the reason that they call it a gaming speaker is because it does feature RGB. As you can see, I will power it up very shortly in the video so you can see exactly what that looks like, because obviously RGB is gaming. It would really sit in quite nicely. Now the best part about this speaker in general is it's got a very nice sound to it, and it's also ultra compact, and also it has some really nice connectivity features. And the best part about this is the fact that you can pick it up currently for about £20 to £25. I will, as always, leave a link in the description below where you can get your hands on one of these. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to do the usual Gadget Joe sort of video, and I'm going to take a look at the box, get it out of the box, see what the unboxing experience is like, see exactly what you get in the box, and then after that we will put it to the test and see how it performs, and then at the end of the video we'll do a little conclusion. So starting off, the box itself is quite similar to a lot of the other Marvo products. Now we've actually got some Marvo products here. We've got the CM420 and the CM409 keyboard set that we recently covered on the channel. In fact, Marvo are quite well known on the channel because they were the ones that provided the prizes for the recent giveaway that we did not too long ago. But again, the boxing is very similar. It's got a nice, quite modern gamer-esque aesthetic to it. It does have a black and slightly greyed out checkered paneling around it to give it that almost carbon fibre feel, with a bit of red on the side to fit in with the rest of the branding. On the front you have a nice large clear image of the speaker itself. On the top there's not a lot. On the bottom, on the sides, again very minimal information. On the back there is a little bit more information in multiple languages and a few key features of the soundbar. So let's get it open and see exactly what you get inside. So inside you obviously get the speaker, as you would expect, and then you get a little product user manual and a nice little sticker. So if you're really a fan of stickers, you get one included as well. And that's pretty much it in terms of the unboxing experience. Very minimal, very to the point. A nice bit of foam for some protection of the speaker when it's in the box. Move that away, and then obviously you get the plastic bag that contains the speaker itself. Now let me just get this out. And then you have the speaker itself and obviously a USB cable. Now before we go into any of the details of the speaker itself, I will talk about the power delivery of the speaker. Now as you might have seen, that's pretty much everything you get in a box other than the sticker and the user manual. That's because this device can be powered via USB. So what I'm going to do is get my Prevo power bank. Again, leave a link in the description as to where you can get your hands on one of these. This thing is an absolute lifesaver. I use it for pretty much everything nowadays. Anyway, back to the video. All you have to do is simply power it by plugging it into the USB, and that's it. You've got full power. And then you've got full power to the speaker. It operates on 5 volts over 1 amp, so it doesn't need a lot of power to basically run it. That means that you can pretty much take it anywhere you want to go with you. Now it doesn't feature a battery inside this. It would be nice to see a battery in a speaker like this, but then you're going to start requesting a premium on the price point. To get a speaker with this sort of specification and the battery, you're probably looking at least doubling the price. What's more is that cable is nice and long. It's 1.5 meters in length as well, so that you can plug it in and hide the cable quite nicely, and then have this on display so that you've got plenty of access and room to mount your speaker. Now let's talk about the speaker itself. Before I play anything through the speaker, to get an idea of those speakers, we'll talk about the unit itself. Now when it comes to build quality, it is pretty much what you would expect for a speaker of this price point. It is made of plastic and a bit of cloth on the top to give it that nice aesthetic on the front. It does make it look a lot more premium than it actually feels. Now one of the only downsides of this speaker is it does feel quite plasticky. I know that sounds a bit cliche because it is plastic, but you get what I mean. It's quite thin plastic. It's just molded plastic housing on this, but that's pretty much all it needs, because the chances are you're not really going to be holding it when you're using it, and also once it's in position it will pretty much stay where it needs to go. The good thing about that is that it does feel quite durable. So if you're going to be taking it around, sticking it in your bag to go take it to a friend's or to a park or anywhere like that, it should be quite enduring. It does feel quite sturdy. It's just quite thin plastic. But in general, it is a very nice design. It's a very simplistic design because you've got that grey cloth fibre on the top that houses the speaker grills at the top. This is a top firing speaker set. Around the sides, you don't really have a great deal. All the business end is on the front. The bottom doesn't have anything other than a few little bit of details and some nice little rubber pads that should help with any vibration, because when you're playing music through this quite loud, or audio as in voice through this quite loud, it's always nice to have a little bit of anti-vibration on the bottom so that it doesn't really resonate through your desk or wherever you're sitting this. On the front is pretty much where all the business end is. You do have a large dial on the front that controls the volume. Then next to that you have a headphone port, and then on the other one you have a microphone input. Now the microphone input is actually a quite handy little feature to have. You don't see that on many speakers nowadays. Underneath that you do have an RGB LED strip. It does have 7 RGBs on there. It looks very nice and classy, and it's quite understated as well with it being underneath this lip here. Now one thing I will say is this RGB bar looks absolutely fantastic. So you can change them by simply clicking them, and then it will change through the different colour modes, as you can see here. All you have to do is press the button and then it will change through different colour modes, which is actually a really nice little feature. Another little thing about the LED lighting as well is when you flick through the different modes, it will actually play the sound back with a equaliser effectively running on the light bar at the bottom. A nice little feature, considering the price point once again. The unit is quite compact too. It comes in at 422mm long, 95mm wide and 67m high. So it is a very compact little unit. It is quite light as well. It does have a little bit of mass to it, but it's nothing too obtrusive. So if you do have it in a bag and you are taking it around, it's not going to make much of a difference in your backpack. It does feature connectivity via either USB, which we see here. This can be plugged into power the unit, or alternatively you can plug it into a device to have the input through USB. So if you're plugging it into your computer, you would use this to not only power the speaker but also to play the sound through. But with that said, the main party piece of this is the Bluetooth connection. Now, having Bluetooth on a device isn't anything particularly special, but what this one does have for the price point is actually quite nice, because you have Bluetooth 5.3. Now, Bluetooth 5.3 is a much more efficient variant of the Bluetooth module. It does feature faster data rates, and you have about 4 times more range than a Bluetooth 4 device, and also it is much better on power saving as well. It also makes switching between the devices super quick as well. So for example, if I had this connected to my phone and I also have my hearing aids connected to the phone, a lot of hearing aids nowadays have Bluetooth. A lot of other devices or headphones or anything like that will have Bluetooth on them. So if I get a phone call whilst I'm listening to music, it will instantly switch to my hearing aids, and that's because of a Bluetooth 5.3 technology. Again, not an amazing thing, but having Bluetooth 5.3 in this for the price point is definitely very welcome. Now, the speaker output of this is 10 watts. That's 2 5-watt speakers either side of the device. What I'll do in a moment is I'll get it all connected to my phone to see how simple it is to connect it to a phone. We'll get it all powered up, and then we'll play some non-copyright music so that we can listen to the sound quality. And then what I'll do is I'll put it close to the microphone and at a distance so you can see roughly how it sounds. Now, getting an accurate representation of how a speaker sounds over a video is quite difficult, because it is again limited down to the microphone capability, or alternatively the device that you're playing it on. But I will do my best to give you a rough idea of how the quality of the sound is, and also how loud it can get, and then you'll get a good idea of the clarity and if there's any tinniness as I play any music. Now that I've got the device connected to the phone, it was quite simple to connect up. All you have to do is, once you've got power onto this, is you press this big dial here, you just push it in twice and then that will enter Bluetooth mode. It will then show up on your device as SG286. Connect it to your device and then you're pretty much ready to go. Now currently I've got my phone playing some non-copyright music because I don't want to get a copyright strike on YouTube. This will effectively show some simple music playing to give you an idea of how the device sounds. Now you can control the volume through your phone direct or alternatively using the dial on here. For the purpose of this video I'm going to use the dial just to give you a rough idea. And as you can hear, the music is playing. It does sound nice and clear, nice and loud. This currently is only at about probably 30% of volume. What I'm going to do now is basically shut up and play it on full volume so you can get an idea of just how loud this thing can get. Well, the sound is very, very loud. It's very clear. That's the main thing I've taken away from this. It is super clear. It does not get tinny at full volume, as you can hear. Now, what I did is put the microphone close to it. I also left it on my chest, and then I also moved it slightly further away from the speaker to give you a rough idea of what it sounds like. Now what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to play one of my videos so that I know there's no copyright again, so we can hear what the audio in terms of voice sounds like as well. If you want to switch from Bluetooth mode back onto USB mode, all you have to do is once again double tap that dial and then it will switch through to USB mode. Keep hold of a dial and it will then simply turn the device off. Right, so what I'm going to do now is play one of my videos through this. I'm just simply playing it from my phone via the Bluetooth mode. This is going to give you a good idea of what voice sounds like through this. Now obviously I could play some songs with singing on there, but again YouTube is very stringent on copyright laws, so I can't really do that a great deal, and a lot of the copyright ones I've found tends to involve quite a bit of swearing. So what I'm going to do is obviously play this video, and unfortunately you're going to have to listen to more of my voice, but you will get a good idea of what this sounds like through voice. I'm going to start it off on a lower volume and then I'm going to slowly work my way up on the volume. I'll keep myself quiet in the meantime so you can get a good idea, and then again I'll move the microphone around so you can try and get a rough idea of what it sounds like. What you would class as budget offerings. Now it's hard to sort of depict what you mean by budget, because generally speaking, if you say to someone that you've got a budget keyboard or a budget mouse or a budget headset, anything like that, generally budget means really poor quality, and this is just not the case with Marvo products. Everything that I've had from them so far has been surprisingly well built and features some fantastic features inside the product. So, and it certainly doesn't fall under that stigma of low price means low quality. And we're going to take a look at this today to find out exactly what you get in the kit for less than £45 and see just how good it is. So to start with, I'm going to... And that's pretty much how the voice sounds on this speaker. Now, through standard volume, it sounds good, sounds nice and clear, but I do find that at the full volume, at maximum volume, it did start to have some muffled qualities to it. Now, again, that's something to be expected. You don't often have speakers playing at 100% all the time, unless you obviously got a garden party, and then in that sort of instance, you're not really going to be playing something like my videos at a garden party. It's going to be music, and you're not really going to take a great deal in terms of that top end muffling features that you get with a voice. Again, it's going to be different with different voices. My voice is quite monotone, quite deep, and it will play quite loud on this. But overall, I'm really impressed with the sound quality of this and the usability of it. It is super simple to connect, super simple to set up. It just runs off a USB power switch. In fact, I've got it on this power bank right now, and it's not even drawing 1 watt. It is super efficient, super practical, nice and compact, and it looks the part too. Nice and loud, would be ideal for a gaming setup to sit just underneath your monitor. Again, if you do have a gaming setup and you've got lots of RGB, lots of blacked out bars, this will sit in really nicely. That said, with this nice fabric top on here as well and simplistic design, actually it would fit in with most setups. And also the fact that you can take it anywhere you go with you as well makes it super practical. And that's pretty much it. There's not a great deal I can really talk in terms of a speaker. It's a very compact little unit, very capable little unit. Those two 5-watt speakers actually deliver some serious power from them, considering that it is a relatively small speaker set. They're nice and clear, nice and loud, the music sounds good. Now, it's not a massively bassy speaker because there's no bass ports in this, and it's not marketed as a bassy speaker, it's just marketed as a speaker. So pretty much everything you should expect from a speaker of this price point, you're going to get that in here, but with that enhanced Bluetooth 5.3 functionality in there as well. And the fact that it can be powered by a USB lead is nothing but a bonus. And then that little RGB strip that you can change and customize to your setup is also a nice little feature. And that's pretty much it. A very, very solid little offering from Marvo, a very, very well sounding device, and it's definitely something that I'm going to be taking advantage of and using. And the fact that you do have a microphone input as well, it's definitely nice to see. So if you're after a Bluetooth speaker or a soundbar for your, or a set of speakers for your computer, look no further than this one. This one is a bit of a no-brainer. Now obviously if you're an audiophile and you're looking for something more high-end, there are some different options and this probably isn't the one for you. But if you're not looking to spend a large amount of money, in fact you're not going to spend a lot of money on this at all, you're probably paying less than you would for a standard takeaway. You're getting this for about £20 to £25 and you're getting a really well-built, nice, substantially sounding product, and it is very much an easy thumbs up from me here at Gadget Joe for this speaker. So if you do like this video, don't forget to do the normal stuff. Hit that thumbs up down below to like the video, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe because it's helping the channel grow, and that's pretty much it. I've been Gadget Joe. This has been the Marvo Sg286 Bluetooth gaming speaker, and until next time, goodbye.